Installing your own amplifier on your truck or car. First thing is, I have a very handy thing here. Look, this is my power supply, right? This is the positive of my battery. I have this little knob, so if you turn it clockwise, it'll pass the power through the wire back out, and if you turn it counterclockwise, it'll shut the truck dead. It'll be no power. So I have the doors open and I have no light. So you don't want to work with your, power on your battery on, because when you run your positive, I did took my panel on the side and run the positive under the carpet, and my positive wire is right here. This is probably like a 10 gauge. It's a really thick wire that comes out of the battery, directly from the battery. And my ground, you need a positive and you need a ground. Here I have my ground, yes, and everybody said ground, they're black or green. I bolted to the seat, but I have an extra piece of this 10 gauge wire. And if you know where it comes from, then you can use it. You can't get confused, which I already know which one is my ground because I marked it at the end of the wire. And then from your radio, which my radio is already installed because I'm swapping my amp, at the back, on the back of your radio, you should have 2 or 4, depending on the radio. Mines, I always have 2 outputs. One should be red and one should be white, and those you want to run them under the seat, which I already have them in here. That'll be the red one, that will be the white one. And I have this splitter because my old Jensen amplifier on this end have 2 inlets, so that's what I split mine. But the new one that I'm gonna install have only 2, so I'll be removing this little splitter. I won't need it anymore. So red goes to red and white goes to white. The remote wire, which is under the seat, is also gonna go here on the back. It says remote. That one right in the middle, right here. Okay? And then you have the positive that it comes from your battery, and then you have your ground. If you don't hook up the remote, it happened with a friend before. He put positive and negative, and when it turns the radio, the amp didn't came on because the radio sends the signal through the remote for the amp to turn on. And the other reason could be your fuse is not pushed all the way in, or the fuse is not good. That's the next things to check. And then I do have only 2 outs for the speakers, for the subs, for the subwoofers, and here I have 4. So I have 2 positives and 2 negatives that they coming out of the speakers under the seat. And the speakers, they're always also marked as positive and negative. And I already bend the end of the wire where I have my positive, and I left unbent the wire that I have my negative, so I know where to hook. And here I have my power, and I already have my ground. Like I said, my ground is also red because I want thick wiring. So negative to negative, positive to positive. The remote is a very thin wire. It should be marked on the back of your radio. And I'm gonna put 2 positives here and 2 negatives here to fit both of my speakers under the seat. And this output on my radio, it says subwoofer outputs. They're red and white. They come in everything I run under the carpet. They'll be on this end, and they go here on red and white. When you turn the radio on, this light will turn green, and that means it's powered, and you should be able to listen to music. Bass booster, I guess, obviously, if you go plus, your bass will be deeper, or the other way around. Full range, low pass mode. I guess that's like a crossover, a filter, the same thing on that. And this, it says remote sub level control. It comes with a little dial that you turn it one way to the other one, and I guess that it'll increase or decrease the bass. They're a little different, but the wiring is very basic. I hope this helped to someone to install their own amp. Thank you.